macros. I wanted to know what the heck they are exactly. I keep hearing about them, and I followed someone on Instagram who was very obsessed with them. I had to actually unfollow her. It was too macro intensive. So, like, what are they? Do you know, Beck?
I don't know what a macro is. I actually will Google it for us. I thought macro was an outfit. So I'm sure I'm wrong. Let's see what macros are. A macro diet goes a step further than typical calorie counting. For it, you count the macronutrients, which are the grams of protein, carbs, and fats you're eating within your calorie goal and in what ratios. So you're counting the macronutrients, which are the proteins, carbs, and fats.
So you're not you don't necessarily have a daily intake for calories like you would for calories, which are different in every human being. Like, you can't say the average person needs this amount of calories. Everyone's gonna, I think, because of their metabolisms, everyone's gonna need something different. So with the macros, you're just going on how much your body needs in nutrients with fat, and then separated into fat,
Fat,
protein, and
protein, and
carb.
carbohydrates. Yeah, it's like a step. I think it's a step further than calorie counting. So I
I
guess
wonder.
you're
Mm.
macro counting or yeah, does that sound right? It's the
Sounds
end. I think it's the energy in the food.
Yeah. So it's probably good for you. It's probably actually
Yeah.
a more nutritional way, because you could do calories like, "Oh, I had a whole packet of Tim Tams. I had a hamburger. That's it for the day. I'm done
Right.
with my calories." There's no
Exactly.
nutrients in that.
There's no nutrients in Tim Tams. So you can't just be like, oh, I'll have one Tim Tam. Okay. Well, it's only 100 calories. But I think this goes a step further into counting the nutrients that
Mm.
you're getting out of the food. So it's probably a lot better than
Yeah.
calorie
It's
counting.
probably also more for the individual,
Right. I think it sounds like it's a more healthy
more
way
healthy
of
way of, yeah,
tracking
and losing
your
weight
food.
or changing habits.
Yeah.
I just wanted to know, like, what they are, and I know they've been around for a while, but I don't think it's very common. I think it's not very common for people to track them because they might be a little bit more complicated, as opposed to calories. We used to count calories in our 20s all the time. Oh,
And I'm
we had
sure
all the
people
apps.
still do.
Yeah.
I'm sure the super health conscious are laughing at us right now because I'm sure they've been counting their macros for
Yeah.
years.
Well, Beck just noticed on one of her apps, fitness apps, macro button appeared. So,
Right, I just went to take a look at my Fitness Pal, and I've noticed that there was always a graph back in the day when I was using my Fitness Pal, and there was a graph that calculated that, or at least told you the percentage of what you're
mm,
eating, and it did just popped up macros. So there we go. It's a thing. It's not an
it's
outfit.
about the energy, it's about the nutrients, it's more about health. I think I'm down with macros now that I know a little bit more about them, that I've discussed them with you, because I feel like when I discuss it with you, or, like a friend, you sort of learn a bit better.
Yeah, we're learning as we
We're
go.
unqualified. Like, I'm learning this. I'm unqualified about macros and many other things.
I might be on the macro train and I'll be counting my macros instead of
Yeah, I
calories.
could try it. It sounds like a lot of work though. I just
Yes.
don't have that kind of, like, I don't have any more to give.
I know. Well, like we're already counting calories.
I'm trying
Why
to
do we
increase.
have to
Yeah,
now count our
I'm trying to
macros?
increase the veg. I'm trying to increase the greens.
I mean,
Trying to
there's
cut out the
always
sugar.
something there's always something to count
Mm.
and like I say, I think in our 20s, we were always like chasing the fads and the Atkins diets and this, and
Oh,
now it's gone to like keto and whatever that is.
the 30
That's
day,
another
whatever.
thing. It's
There's
a
a
whole
30-day.
30.
The whole. That's it.
I actually tried to do whole 30.
Yeah,
Um,
I tried a bit.
I failed in a sense that I think whole 30 is very meat based of a diet, and I think keto's the same. I'd been a pescatarian for like 6, 7 years. So
Mm.
doing the Whole30 was, not great for me. I had to,
Too meat
stop.
intensive.
It is very meat intensive. The only thing that was good about the Whole30 was it is no sugars,
Yeah.
and it did help me
No
cut down on
sugars.
sugar.
Just no fun in your life.
No fun in life, but it's weird once you cleanse yourself of sugar
Oh yeah.
for like
Even
after
2
a
days.
month, well, 2 days, 3 days, I
I
was
mean,
literally getting the shakes, like, I was having withdrawals,
oh god.
which is nuts, but after a month, you actually don't crave sugar as much, or
Yes.
anything you do have that has sugar is super sweet.
Yeah, I must say when I cut out because I didn't do it like all sugar is banned. I just did all chocolate is just out of the question.
Right.
For I think it was maybe I want to say a few weeks, and yeah, when I did have my first taste of like chocolate, it was like wait, even the dark chocolate was like very sweet.
Right, yeah, even
You
I'm
do wean
sure.
yourself off it.
Absolutely. I mean, with Whole30, you're not even allowed, like, honey or anything or certain fruits, but so you have to, like, sweeten things with dates. But that's kind of extreme, but I don't know, with me anyways, I think what's most important is eating foods and just kind of not restricting yourself, like,
Mm.
it's more of a
I would
lifestyle.
100% agree with that.
Yeah,
Because we tried that, in our 20s. It was all about being skeletal. Do you remember
skeletal,
when I would call you and say,
yes.
I'm so skeletal this week, like
Yeah,
1
you're like,
can of tuna and I'm a size 8 now.
I'm gonna be really
Um,
skeletal this week," and I was always like, "Oh,
it's not
hun."
healthy, and it's not necessarily it wasn't like, we are very privileged even to be discussing this. These are first world problems. And, the eating disorders are no laughing matter, and but, I wouldn't say that I I personally went down that track, or I don't think you did ever.
No.
But it was like a very like that inner desire to be. When I say skeletal, I don't mean like emaciated. I mean that just natural ballerina Audrey Hepburn type body where it's like zero fat. And they're just like floating waifs, but natural, that kind of skeletal, like, it's just that secret desire that you wanna be like that, but because you always wanna be what you're not, and, like, I'm the opposite, I'm like, I'm the opposite of that.
Not I wouldn't say the opposite, but I don't think it's not I don't think it's cool to be thin anymore. I
Mhm,
don't think
true.
thin is in.
I think it's cool to be the best version of yourself. Does that sound cheesy?
No, absolutely. I think toned is
Yeah.
in, eating healthy is in, kind of having that shapely, maybe over extreme of gigantic asses and
It's
do you know what I
definitely in
mean? It's
fashion, whether
more
or
in
not you can
fashion. I
achieve
don't
it
think too
naturally.
thin. Everyone wants a butt right now.
Yeah.
Everyone wants some like thicker thighs. They want to
Mm.
be not too thick, but I think things have changed in a good
Do you
way.
think it depends where you are? Like, in LA, do you think it's about that? Because here it's
No.
still about
It's
being
about
thin.
fitness, and it's about eating well, and it's about looking amazing, and then obviously then we're, you know, having, you know, um Botox and fillers and all that stuff, but no, I don't think there's as
Mm.
much talk of being super skinny anymore. At least,
Yeah.
or maybe it's just an age thing, but I'm not surrounded by that
No.
anymore.
No,
No.
it was like not like the 90s with, Kate Moss and that famous Calvin Klein ad where she was like extremely wafy. It's now Brazilian butt lifts, isn't it? And people are getting augmented plastic surgery to, butt implants.
Yeah,
Uh, but very exaggerated.
exactly. A little bit too exaggerated. Everyone's starting to look the same.
Very homogenous, very the same. Like the microblading, the filler,
Microblading
the lips,
eyebrows. Mhm.
and it's like their unique features are not distinguishable anymore. It's like they've lost that uniqueness in their face because like and faces are not there's a symmetry to it. I think it's called the Fibonacci rule. I don't know, I can't remember who I was talking to about this or I read it somewhere. There's like a pattern of numbers and it makes up like the symmetry or non-symmetry that we see in people's faces,
Yeah.
like that quirkiness.
Of course,
Someone
I
might have
think
the
it's
nose a little bit,
natural to be
to the left.
non-symmetrical,
Exactly.
but what surgery and fillers and Botox are doing are making your face super symmetrical. So everything is
Yes.
perfect.
Which is not which is not what we're used to seeing. Maybe for us it's quite jarring, maybe not for the youth because they don't they're not, I don't know, they're still spongy or like they're still like open to suggestion. But for me, I keep seeing that same look and I go, she like like she looks like this other girl I just saw 10 minutes ago. Like
Exactly.
that exact same.
Same.
I don't know if it's the fake tan color that's the same as well. I don't know what the spray tan,
Yeah, and
but
I
it's just
mean
they look
makeup
the
does
same.
a lot as
Oh,
well.
contouring is everything. Yeah.
You've got contouring, you've got, so people are, you know, contouring everything and using, different makeup techniques or using the same makeup techniques, which is why everyone's
Which is
looking the
why they
same.
look the same.
Yeah, for sure. So that's happening as well. Um, I don't I don't have time to sit there and like contour every day, beat my face, as they say. Like
Not every day.
I, I can't imagine the everyday person spending that much time fixing their face that much in the morning. Can you do
Oh,
that
my
or
makeup is done in the car on the way to work, and I can beat it pretty well. I like a bit of eyeliner and some. I do like a bit of contour. Like I like a bit
yeah,
of
a light contour
light
here and
contour
there?
for the daytime at work. You don't want to. I don't work in an environment that you need to be too beaten up, but it's pretty extreme. But think of the pressures they probably feel seeing Instagram people all the time. It's not real. Like they don't see those people in their natural light, like or just on a regular day going to the gym. They only see them in their best light.
Of course. And
Yeah.
like social media plays such a huge role in today's society because
Mm.
what we see is what we think people look like. So, uh, which may not be the case. So that really changes everything. Where we're stuck looking, we spend most of our time on social media or most of our time
Yeah.
scrolling through Instagram thinking that this is what people look like now, and they
Mm.
actually don't. So they're either
Mm.
filtering or using Facetune or stretching themselves out and
Yeah.
looking absolutely
Oh yeah,
ridiculous.
the arm is
The
always a
the
good tell.
stretched out legs and arms and that's not real either. So but people think it's real and then they're going to go out and get this surgery like to do that.
They put these ridiculous pressures on themselves.
Of
Like
course.
I'm gonna look like that all the time, and maybe they get some. They think that it's gonna make them happier or something. But I'm all up for it if it does.
Oh, of course. If
And there's no, I don't think we have any. We're
no,
nothing
whatever
against people who get
makes you
plastic
happy.
surgery. Yeah, whatever makes you happy. But I think there can be extremes to it that can
Yeah.
impact negatively. Would you think you do plastic surgery?
Um Well, I guess I've always wanted to get my nose job, but
Oh
a nose
yeah,
job, but
but you don't need
no,
it.
I don't really. I feel like the ship has sailed. I'm in
Mm.
my 30,
You've
30
accepted it.
something. I have, um,
Not that
so
it's a
probably
bad
not.
no.
Nah, I always like wanted a new nose. I was like, no,
I think it would
but
dramatically change your face. Remember Dirty Dancing girl? After she got a nose job,
yes.
no one ever heard from her again. Gone. Bye ski.
Yeah, but I also think that was at a different time. I think now everyone's just like, whatever you can do to look better, make yourself look better. But I do, yeah,
Mm.
she didn't really have much of a career after that, not after the nose job.
One cameo in Friends.
One one cameo in Friends, and that was all. But now I think people are quite open to talking about if they've had stuff done.
Definitely.
They don't
Yes. Oh
care. They're like,
yes,
"Yes, I've had
absolutely.
it done. I look great. I
Uh,
feel great."
yeah. I see. I think some people are. Some people who are older are a bit more on the down low about it. I would I think I'm not ruling it out. I'm fascinated by people who get facelifts. I'm fascinated by all the injectables. Really, like I love hearing about it, love learning about it. I haven't done it myself because I'm too chicken. but it's not. I'm not ruling it out. Like I'm trying everything naturally right now with the masks and
Yeah,
the
you have
pills, and I'll
some
do the
great,
stuff. But like
great
I
facial
won't.
masks.
Yeah, but that it can only go so far, and it's only going to last up to a point where there might be a time where I'm like, well, I might do that.
Of
I
course,
might
because
just
you feel the pressure of trying to, we all do, of trying to keep up. Like everyone's looking better because they're having these, you know, cosmetic
yeah,
like
better
fillers and
in it.
Botox.
And
Like there's only so
oh,
much facial stuff
that's
can you
right.
can do.
And don't you reckon, like, okay, it kind of is on topic, like everyone's looking better, but also like, have you noticed like ugly is the new beautiful as well? Like
No,
there's
but
this two extreme things going on. Like there's this two part going on. You're either there's enough. I tell you what it is. There's enough enhancements out there or fake stuff like cosmetics, plastic surgery. There's enough technology and product out there that you can be seriously fugly and look still really good. Like you can make the best version of yourself even if you're ugly, I feel like.
right. Okay, I kind of understand what you're talking about a little bit. Um, yes, you don't have to look super bad anymore because there are things that can
Yes.
make you look better. If even if it's like I said, makeup
Hair,
or
even hair,
hair
makeup. I'm
or
telling you, there's
or
like ugly people out there, but then looking not too bad.
oh yeah, of course. So they can change the way they look as well. I think we all have options. So, whether it's blood facials or if
Oh
it's
God.
fillers, Botox, plastic surgery, all kinds of stuff. Whatever if
Mm.
you feel like it's going to make you feel better about yourself, then I guess
Go forward,
go
do it. But
forward, go do it,
just know that
go for it.
it is not a fulfillment. Just like getting in a certain amount of money you think is going to fulfill you, it doesn't fulfill your soul.
Well, sometimes we get things and then we just want more of it. Like, where do you stop? Like,
Yes,
it's the same with surgery. Where do you stop? Because then you start seeing other
that's
things, and
right.
some people go to
And
extreme.
is it necessary if you're not in the public eye? I think I understand more about people
Yeah.
who are in the public eye. That's a lot of pressure. I can understand what they feel like, the pressure to get actually voluntarily cut themselves open because they their whole career relies on
Right.
what they look like, and if they age they might become irrelevant. But I've heard a guy who cuts my hair in this salon. He worked for years in Europe and America, I think LA, and he did hair for some celebrity. He wouldn't tell me the name, but he was telling me that, oh my God, and it was so gross. He was doing the hair of like a celebrity that had just got a facelift, and it was sort of fresh still. Like they were like healing, but he could still see the staples and blood
Oh, of
in
course. You
in
see
the.
that every day in
Oh
LA.
my God, are you
Oh yeah.
serious?
Like you do. You see people I mean, not all the time, but
Wow. This
I
yeah.
remember meeting up with a friend of mine, and you know, she was like, "Oh yeah, my friend will meet us in an hour. She's just upstairs at the doctor's office getting like her face pulled."
Oh
And
God.
yeah, so we,
It's part of the
waited, we
norm.
went for a walk, and then, she came down and we sat there at lunch, and there we go.
It's just part of the
It's just,
norm.
yep, it's just part of the norm.
And this celebrity apparently said that they couldn't feel their face, like a cheek, or when they put their finger, or any part of their face, because when
Probably
it's
swollen.
also when it moves, because they pull it to a different, because they're like cutting and then pulling, it's almost like it has to get used to new nerves underneath, and they don't get that sensation until like I don't know how many months
Yeah, it has
later.
to heal for
It's
sure.
crazy. Like, imagine putting yourself through that. It's unbelievably amazing. Like, is it a level of extreme vanity? Is it extreme
I
vanity?
think it's just like I said, each to their own. If that's what they want to do, then that's what they want to do.
Yeah. You know what else is good for your skin? Yoga, I think. I really do believe. like I've been
Probably good
picked it up
for everything.
everything. I've
Yeah.
picked it up regularly in the last, like actually seriously, in the last 6 to 7 months, and I do feel like my skin has improved. It gives you a bit of a glow. It's subtle, but I
Mhm.
do think that it is.
Is it
There's
like
something to
Bikram
it.
yoga or it's just any yoga?
Yin and
Yin yoga.
vinyasa, I
I
think, is
love
also
vinyasa.
a little bit of that, and like just regular sort of that flowing. I don't know what it's called, like, but they guide you through it and they do it and they talk you through to the poses.
Yeah, I love yoga just for everything. I love the way it makes you feel. I love the way your body looks because it's toned and
I
stretched
didn't
and
notice any of that. I noticed the inside. I noticed the mental, the state,
your
the inside. My
breathing.
breathing is crucial because
Yeah.
I actually couldn't do it. Like I liked the idea of it 10 years ago, but I couldn't follow through. Every time I do a yoga class, my mind would race elsewhere. Like
Right.
I couldn't focus.
And
It
you
was
can't get the poses if you don't focus. That's what's so good about it. It does try and make you shut off the rest of the world and whatever's going outside. I mean, of course, when you get out of yoga, you're faced with everything,
mm,
life goes
it
on.
just gets you.
But it's
Yeah.
so good when you're in there and you have to try to be focused to get the poses and hold the poses.
Absolutely. You have to
Yeah.
come to a point in your life where, and maybe some people naturally already realize that, but I guess I was running on my autopilot was stress mode. Like
Hmm.
that's how I felt comfortable in a highly anxious state. And when that wasn't serving me anymore, you know, yoga came
Yoga
into
came
my
through.
life, came through for me. And finally it's like a way to actually get out of that constant, that neurotic sort of
Hmm.
uh, crazy type of setting that I have, and it
Right.
really it helps you with, yeah, it helps you be calm through other parts of your life and situations that you're in. I've I've I think it's fantastic.
Yeah, I love
Love
yoga.
it.
I've started doing prenatal yoga now, which has been amazing. I
Wait, what?
love
How?
it.
I'm always curious about that because I never did it. Was it? What did they
So
do?
so in I started doing it in LA and and it was great, but it was definitely a bit different to what I've been doing here. I think over there it was like 30 minutes of like mum, to be mums
Mm.
chit-chatting and then 30 minutes of stretches. But over here, oh, it's been so good. The instructor is amazing. She's also a doula. Um
A doula?
a
Jula.
d-
A jewel.
a doula,
Not a
sorry.
jeweler.
Not a jeweler.
She's not.
She doesn't hand out jewelry in
She's not
class.
silversmithing. Yeah, she's doula. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
correction, a
yeah.
doula. And
Like,
she just knows what she's doing. She comes around, she helps us with stretches. It's not as intense as normal
right.
yoga. I think that's why I like it.
Mm.
And I'm finding it really good. Let's hope it helps me during labor. We'll
Is that what they say?
see. Apparently, yeah, they do say it helps you in labor. I'm not sure if it's with poses or because of the
The breathing.
breathing. Um,
It's
yeah,
all connected. Mental, internal, breathing. It's
of
all one.
course.
And didn't you say didn't you have you suffer from vertigo?
I do, yeah. So I have vertigo, which is why I stopped yoga. Unfortunately, because
So
you
like
know,
downward dog boom.
downward dog was fine. I don't really know. I think sometimes like turning of heads or like
Oh,
laying
it could be
flat
anything.
or maybe it being too hot. Yeah, it was just kind of bringing on my vertigo, so I had to stop. But prenatal yoga's been fine.
Also, I have to ask you because I am gonna admit on this podcast that I freaking watched Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, and I
We
saw
love Real
the
Housewives.
goat
Oh, goat
goat yoga,
goat
and
yoga.
tell me more because you're from LA,
It
you
exists.
live in LA like for many years.
Yes, it's a thing. My friends have done it. They've sent me photos.
Oh my
Actually, I remember my husband and I watching. Yeah, he does watch Real Housewives with me
god,
sometimes.
yay, that's
He
supportive.
was just like, "Is this real?" And I was like, "It is real." And I showed him pictures of my friends doing goat yoga.
Oh my gosh.
I don't really know the benefits of goat
I'm
yoga.
trying to. that's what I'm.
Um,
That's where my mind goes. I'm like analyzing. Okay, if
maybe they're trying to throw things at you, like,
yeah,
oh,
see
be
how
in
you
downward dog and see how you feel with a goat
goat
on
on
your
your back.
back.
Yeah, see if you can breathe through
See if
that.
you can breathe and
Yucks.
concentrate. I don't
Or
know.
are they just very like sweet creatures that bring a calming force? Or is this just a fad that probably next month they'll have donkey yoga or
Right.
something?
I mean, I'll let you know.
Okay.
I'll let you know about the donkey yoga. Um, oh gosh, I hope not. But yeah, I feel like it might be just a fad.
Yeah.
We will see. But yeah, no, been loving yoga, loving my walks. That's pretty much all I can do right now.
You
I'm
might get it.
definitely not in the gym at the
You
moment.
might go for a swim is really
Oh,
lovely for
swimming's
pregnant
good.
ladies.
Just find the water so cold here.
Yeah, maybe a pool might be better.
Yeah, but I've definitely been staying out of the gym. You're more of a gym.
Yeah, but
You've
not
been
when I
more
was
into the
pregnant.
gym.
I love the gym now, but like not when I was pregnant at all.
No.
Walking was probably and swimming were the most intense things that I did. I think it's really hard. It's very personal when you're pregnant as to what kind of exercise and physical activity you're going to do. I felt very uncomfortable running, even though I run, but I'm not like a runner. I think if you are an actual runner, like not just 20 minutes or half an hour on the treadmill a few times a week, I think if you like run consistently for long periods of
For
time or you've done it for years and years and years,
yeah,
you
then
probably
that's
feel more comfortable.
okay.
And same with weights. I couldn't do it.
Yeah, it's just kind of toning things down
Especially
and
when you
not
get
going
heavier, you
hardcore.
can't. Yeah, I couldn't do it. So, yeah, I think I do love the gym though. I love all the classes. I'm very much though the kind of person that needs to mix it up. Like I have to do um group workouts. I can do my own thing, but I could not do that every time I go to the gym. I have to do like I love those grit cardio where they like people are
Those
shouting at you to
hardcore
do
drill
yeah, like
sergeants, like,
shouting at you to do burpees and you're like gonna die and like spin
oh
classes with the
God.
music blaring. It's like a natural. I feel like I'm back at the nightclubs in the '90s on a freaking high
I feel
from
like they do make them like nightclubs now, don't they? Like those spin classes, they have like the music is pumping and
yeah. You don't need drugs. Just go
the
to a
lights
spin
are
class. I'm telling
dark,
you, it's like you can get a
neon
natural
lights.
high. Yeah.
It's pretty hilarious. I'm just like, yeah, this is where women now go to for that natural high that they probably, you get in a club. It's different. It's yeah, if you love that stuff. I think I'm more of a yoga zen hiking person, but
That's
I know
cool.
people love their spin classes.
No, you said you went to the gym in LA. You joined. Didn't you say you did it for a little bit with your husband?
Yes, I don't mind the gym. I'm not good with, I can't keep up with the gym for like, I don't like being stuck in memberships for years
Oh
and then
yeah.
you just don't use it or it's
Mm.
far away. So yeah, my husband and I, we joined a, we didn't know, we found it on Groupon. We're like, okay, let's give
Oh
this a go. It's
yeah,
down
love
the
those one. I love
street.
those Groupons.
Love Groupon. It was down the street. I was like, let's give this a go. We didn't know that we would be, you know, signing up for this intense. It was a gym it was like a Russian gym
What?
filled with Russian bodybuilders. The
Only
owner was a
you.
little bit hardcore, a little bit scary. I kind of would
Yeah.
just go straight to my little elliptical and do my
No.
elliptical and do my little light weights.
I just imagine
Um,
this dark grey room with
I was
metal
like no
steel
frills.
equipment.
It
No
had
frill.
everything you
Yeah.
wanted, but it was very no frills. And you know what? It was really good for us. The only thing is had to stay away from, working out on a Sunday because there was this
Mm.
really creepy guy.
Oh.
Every Sunday he was there and it was weird. He'd be lifting weights, but every time I moved into a different room, he would move into the room with me and he'd be lifting weights and making sex noises. And it was really disturbing.
Gross.
And yeah, my husband was very like getting really annoyed. He was like, we're not coming here on Sundays. You're definitely not going to be working out here
Oh
on
my God, that
Sundays
is
by yourself.
creepy
What
AF.
is with some men that lift weights and make these
It's testosterone and
sounds?
steroids. Oh, but yeah,
Eh,
I used to be at Fitness First when I
It's
first
a
when
lot.
they come up to the mirror, they and
Yeah,
then they drop it from like a very high
yeah.
distance and and then like, oh, like
What's with the sexual
I
noises?
hate
Or
it.
maybe not, but
They
it's just very
just
weird.
don't come to our gym.
Yeah, so we haven't been there in a while, obviously, but yeah, that was
Some of them
our
are on
Russian gym
steroids, some of them
experience.
just trying to show off, some of them
Yeah,
just
definitely.
just propelled by the testosterone. But that is
Propelled.
kind of funny and creepy as
Yeah,
well.
creepy Sundays, creepy gym Sundays.
Sex noise Sunday.
Sex noise
Oh dear.
Sundays, not about it.
I love the fact that you can have a hike, like you can do a hike. Like I think in being in the inner city, that was a really good option. I'd have to travel a little bit further to go hiking. Walking in, I mean, getting out there in the parks into nature is always lovely.
I mean, I know it's not going to give you like your ripped abs and stuff like that. I
It's not
mean,
about that anymore, as we discussed. It's all about being the best version of you and
yeah,
being healthy, right? On the inside, and it's still good for you, still burning cows.
absolutely.
I've also joined a social netball
Oh,
team.
yeah, that's
So
right.
I do that, and
Your daughter's encouraged you or
she's my
inspired you.
inspiration. I did play when we played when we were teenagers, you and I, and
Oh, we loved
watching
good
her
old
for the last
netball.
few years, I'm just like dying to get out there, and I'm like, I mean, now I realize I'm been screaming at my daughter's matches, but now I know why, like just fiercely competitive inside, really like
Oh, you
into
were
it.
always super competitive.
So competitive. Remember, I don't know if you remember this. Do you remember that when we played softball, like in year 7 or something? That I'm not going to name names, but I think I yelled out something. I think I was on first base or something, and the girl, I don't know, I'll tell you name off air later, but she hit the ball. No, she didn't hit the ball. Yeah, I was on first base. We were batting. She was batting terribly, and I yelled out some kind of comment like, "Oh, come on, you could do better than that." Or like, "Can't you even hit a ball?" Like something really like vanilla. It was okay, maybe it was a little bit like, "Come on, let's get our act together." Guys do it all the time on the field. I yelled that out. Her and the rest of our group friends didn't speak to me for 3 months. Beck was the only one in the class. You were the only one who spoke to me for 3 months. And like, it was from then I was like, I've got to keep this competitive streak like hidden away, in check, not
In
get out of
check.
control. Like, but I feel like, yeah, people could be sensitive, especially in high
I
school.
guess so. I think now it's more like less of that and more like just encouraging
Participation.
kids to just be, you know,
It
outdoors,
wasn't
play a good
bullying.
game. You did your best.
Yeah.
I don't think it was enough for Hun. I think
There's always a
Hun
winner
was
and a
like,
loser. I'm
no,
down.
we
I'm
have
just
to
I'm
win.
just committed to that. Like I get everyone does get participation awards at the end, but there is a winner. There's finals. Your team either wins or it doesn't
It
win.
doesn't win.
That is the nature of the universe.
It definitely is for some
You can argue with me
people.
if you don't. I like, yeah. If you don't
Oh
feel that
no,
that's
I mean, why do we have football games? Why do we have netball games?
mm,
Why do we have basketball games? To win.
exactly.
You know what I mean? I
People want
think
to
for kids
see.
in the playground is a little different, but yeah, of course, sport is competitive.
It
You
brings
are
out
playing a
yeah.
sport to win the sport. You're not just playing to lose.
Mm.
So
Can we see it? Can we see it?